We are joined by our good buddy, athletic director for University of Albany, the Great Danes. Mark Benson joins us. Mark, we start with pretty much a sad note. It's tough when you're one of the favorites and you get bounced early in the America East tournament, the men going out against Hartford. What's next for this team? Are they going to go and be part of a postseason tournament?
Yeah, well, I mean, as you said, it was a tough ending to what was a really great year. I mean, we went 24-8. That's a huge number of wins. Finished, I think, one game back in the America East regular season. And, you really feel for all of our players, especially for our seniors, Peter, Evan, Ray, and Reese, just great representatives so well, not only in their senior season, but throughout their careers. So hate the way that ended for them and that upset, but I think it was just one of those nights. Hartford played really well, hit a ton of shots, ton of threes at critical moments. So, but what's next? I think there's a lot of interest in us for postseason basketball. Obviously, I think our hope is for the NIT to make that. The NIT now takes the regular season champion if you don't win the tournament. So I think we all have to be, I hate to say this, but I think we have to be Stony Brook fans here for the rest of the tournament and hope they win the championship, and that would hopefully open up a spot for us in the NIT.
Mark Benson, I'm sorry, Mark, how long till you'll know whether it's the NIT or one of the others?
Well, the way these things work is all these other, the CBI, the CIT, the Vegas 16 is the new one. They really start contacting you, relatively early, as you can imagine. They're trying to jockey for teams. There's a lot of positions to fill in each tournament. So, we've been in contact with all the tournaments, but it's all sort of predicated on if you can get NCAA first, NIT second, and then you would make a decision. But I would like to think, we won 3 straight America East championships, 3 straight NCAAs. With Peter Hooley. And the story of last season, unfortunately, with his mom and heading into the NCAA tournament, he's one of the more recognizable names in college basketball. So I would hope we would be a good addition to the NIT. But after that, we will just kind of weigh our best options, talk with Coach Brown and our administration, and see what's the best move for us.
Mark Benson, athletic director for the UAlbany Great Danes. This Vegas 16, that sounds interesting. Brady and I would be willing to go with you guys if you should happen to accept a bid to that one.
It takes a village to win a championship, guys, and we would appreciate and welcome your presence there. Yeah, it's an interesting concept. There's 16 teams. It's all in one venue out in Las Vegas, so you've got a true tournament atmosphere from that regard. It's a great destination location. It does give your team more practice time. So, for your seniors, that could be a bit of a grind. But for your underclassmen coming back, most coaches are really always happy when they can get more experience and more practice. So I think that one's going to draw a lot of attention around the country. It's going to be interesting to see how that tournament goes in its first year.
Mark, would you guys put into host games in like the CBI or something? Does that factor into which way you would go if you would have to pay for travel and all that versus hosting a home game?
Yeah, there's a lot of factors, Brady, that go into it. Some of them you ask to host, and some of it's sort of dictated to you. It's a lot of based on who's playing and availability of your venues. So it could be a situation when it's a combination of hosting and on the road. We're just putting together all this information and trying to come up with a plan that's best for our student athletes or program, but also you want to be fiscally responsible when you do this. So those are all the things that we're gonna look at with the 3 tournaments outside of the NIT.
Mark Benson joins us from UAlbany. Now, Mark, we spend all this time talking about the men who aren't playing anymore, while the women are still going strong.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Abe and our Great Danes have had a great season, tied for the regular season with Maine. That's our 2nd year in a row. We are the 1 seed, so I'm actually heading out this afternoon to Binghamton, who's hosting the 1st and 2nd rounds. And so, our hope is obviously we make it through that, and if we are still remaining, the championship game would be on our campus the following Friday. So a chance to host Friday, March 11th, if we're still in there at 4:30 would be fantastic. That game is on ESPNU, so it's a great chance to market and brand UAlbany, as well as our athletic program, our basketball team. So, they're really playing well. Amani Tate was just elected the American East Women's Basketball Player of the Week last week. So, feel really good about our chances starting out with Saturday at 6 o'clock.
Mark, football schedule came out yesterday. You guys are opening at Buffalo. You've got Elon on the schedule for the first time. What are we looking for in 2016 on the gridiron?
Yeah, so this is I think our fourth season into the Colonial Athletic Association. So still in that transition. Coach Katusha's third season. So really like the direction we're headed with our recruiting. Great schedule. We're always going to try to have an FBS road game, which we have in Buffalo. Then we'd like to find a good home-and-home series. Holy Cross would fit that need, non-conference. As you said, Elon is a new one on our schedule, so it'll be fun to go down. Actually, they're here this year, so we don't have to travel down to North Carolina. So I'm excited to see how we're going to improve this year. We knew last year was going to be a bit of a tough season, but expecting to have a much better one this year. And from a fan amenity standpoint, we're really trying to show progression there. So we're going to make some changes to our hospitality offerings. Our gold seat circles, which are those midfield chairbacks, we're going to hope to have some in-seat beverage service availability there. So make that a little more convenient to tailgate within the stadium, and some other additional hospitality and tailgating opportunities. So our hope is as we're transitioning to CAA that the Capital Region sort of adopts the Great Danes for football as we're doing that.
Mark Benson, AD for UAlbany, and then Saturday, Scotty Marr and the boys from the lacrosse team have a game scheduled. And I'm looking, little chilly, but no rain, no snow. Pretty nice day to go watch some lacrosse.
I spent a lot of personal time this year on the weather and really trying to improve that in the winter conditions here in the Capital Region. I wish I could take credit, but it has been remarkably favorable for our outdoor spring sports, and I always kind of chuckle when I say spring. But, yeah, looking forward to that game, playing Cornell, which is a rematch. We faced each other last year in the NCAA tournament. That was the famous Blaze Reardon sort of coast-to-coast. The goalie goes from one end to the other to score, which was a really big turning point in that game. Cornell had been getting a little bit of momentum, and with that play, Blaze really kind of swung it back to us. So I think it's a great chance for lacrosse fans to come out and see two really great teams. We've just moved up to number 15 in the coaches poll, and number 16 in the inside lacrosse, and Cornell's also receiving votes. So just a chance to see two really great lacrosse programs here.
Love it. Mark Benson, UAlbany. Mark, we're going to harass Will Brown on Monday and try to get him to invite us to the Vegas 16 if you guys go. So just be aware, we're attacking this from many angles.
I think that's a smart play on you guys' part. You gotta go with your strengths and many options. You can kind of just use me as a safety net. You don't have to tell. I'm sure he's listening right now. The cat's out of the bag, but I respect the effort, and it'd be fun to go wherever we go, and let's hope for the best, and just enjoy the ride and honor our seniors and the rest of our team for a great year they had.
As long as it doesn't end the way it ended against the Hartford, because that game, that wasn't fair for Peter and the guys. So wherever you guys go, we're 100% behind you guys. Mark, great job as always. Thanks for making some time for us.
Hey, no, thank you guys. Appreciate you having me on. You guys have a great weekend.